2024. Are the recommendation noted? City Manager.
On the same page, item 2 is the report of the Governance and Human Resources Committee from their meeting which was held on the 18th of the 4th, 2024. Item 2.1, approval of International and Intergovernmental Relations Policy Committee recommends.
Yeah, thank you very much, City Manager. Page 16, item 1.4. Are the recommendation agreed? It's 2.1. Oh, okay. Okay, 2.1, page 16, eh? Right, I've got two speakers, Councillor J. Black, Councillor Madlala. Councillor Black?
Sorry, Speaker, I'm supposed to be speaking on item, I think it's 2.6.
2.6, but your
Or
name...
2.2, but I'm not speaking on this one.
Okay, but your name appears on page 16, item 2.1. Nevertheless, let's proceed. Councillor Madlala?
Thank you.
Yeah, no, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Speaker, after some consultation, we propose a reference back. Let me explain why. There was a request from some caucuses that they would want to be workshopped on this policy before it could serve here and they could then approve the policy itself. And we, as the ANC, we don't have a problem with that. We think it's proper, so we are requesting a reference back. Thank you.
Yeah, while we are filling the forms, Councillor Madlala, Councillors, there's a request from the chair of the cluster to refer this item back to various caucuses as per the explanation. Is the request supported?
Supported.
Thank you very much for that. If there are no objection, page 16, item 2.1 will be referred back to the relevant committee. Thank you very much, City Manager.
Page 18, Honorable Speaker, item 2.2, release of Sunday granting aid advert for 2024-2025 financial year. Committee recommends.
Right, page 18, item 2.2, there is an amendment from Councillor Ngwango, supported by Councillor Gupega. It reads as follows. It be noted that the application process was open from the 1st of May 2024. That is an amendment Councillor Ngwango is proposing. It be noted that the application process was open from the 1st of May 2024. Is the amendment, councillors, supported?
Sorry, Samlo.
Yes, Councillor Kuala.
Can I put a referral back?
Come again?
Can I put a referral back?
On item 2.2?
Yes.
You can, if you feel so, Councillor. You can so. Now, if you want to put a reference back, it means let me hold a little bit the proposal for the amendment from Councillor Ngwango and deal with your proposal first. Then, if maybe council is not in support of your proposal, I will then entertain the amendment from Councillor Ngwango. To get my point, Councillor Kuala.
Potlanko.
Let's do that. Can I have the form from the reference back while we are speaking on the reference back?
Yes, Chair. This item came here, it's for noting actually. I think There's a misunderstanding with the heading. We can't come here and authorize something that was done in the 1st of May, and it was closed on the 1st of July 2024. And we come here and we are saying we are approving that. I think it comes here for us to note the process that was undertaken. So that's why I'm saying we need to refer it back, then it must come as a report so that we note as council. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Kwala, for that. While you are filling the form, but I can see the other councillors want to engage. Councillor Singh.
Thank you, Speaker. Speaker, I want to raise on a point of clarity,
Order, councillors.
and this would be towards the chairperson of the Governance Committee, because to my knowledge that this item was brought to council in the last meeting, and the purpose was it was extended to the 15th of July. So I'm quite confused here now why we are going through the same process when it was already approved in council in the last meeting. So I just need clarity on that, because we can't refer it back to the committee when it's already been forwarded. Thank you.
Your understanding is that the item was brought to council, discussed and approved. But now it's back to council again for same approval. Now, your view is that we can't refer back an item that has already been discussed by council and approved. Thank you. I wanted to get that. Okay, thank you.
Speaker.
Right.
Speaker.
I'm not sure whether members
Speaker.
of the committee are in a position to clarify the question from Councillor Singh.
Speaker.
No, kahle Mngcango. Can I allow members of the committee to respond to the question before I entertain other hands? Deputy Chair of the committee, Councillor Kuzwayo.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Inkinga ke manje bengizochaza yonke lento lena kwi-item itself sesikhuluma ngezinye izinto kodwa ke nonetheless ngizowakhumbuza amakhansela ukuthi kwenzakalani. Just a bit of a background on this particular item because I think it's causing a lot of confusion. Councillors will remember that last year an advert was sent out to have NGOs apply for funding, this granting aid funding. And the report came back firstly to the portfolio committee to say there weren't enough applicants during this process of application. And that department was therefore asking that it re-advertises or reopens the application process so that it gets at least enough applicants to apply itself in that process. And that was approved by council and it was reopened. It closed and then a list was then sent to the portfolio committee as a report of the people who have applied and also those who were subsequently approved for allocation. And then in April, there was a report that was then brought to the committee to say the department is ready to distribute the granting aid. However, Speaker, there were then no meetings due to elections to approve the council meetings, that is, to approve the allocation of the granting aid, whereas the portfolio committee had already, and I believe the executive committee as well, approved the distribution of that particular granting aid. And they were attached to that particular report of distribution was opening a window for this current financial year to advertise or to open for applications to be accepted by the municipality with regards to this particular process. Angabe sahlala ke ama meetings omkhandlu ukuthi ayidlulise yonke lonto leyo kuze kufike namhlanje. Ingakho ke kubonakala sengazi ukuthi kune bit of a confusion, but I was just giving a historical background because suddenly it seems like we are doing something untoward or mhlambe khona umuntu ezama ukuthi simxoxe. Ngicabanga ukuthi amakhansela ngoba beselibele. Ngiyabonga somlomo.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Kuzai, for the clarification that, yes, there was a time where the matter was brought to council, but we had to reopen the process. Thank you for that, but I can see there is a hand at the back there.
Thank you, Speaker. It's just a basic administrative matter with regard to the dates, because it says no applications will be accepted after the 1st of July. Now, the grant and aid forms that went out specifically in quite bold writing said the closing date is the 15th of July. So if anybody has sent anything in those 2 weeks and going to be excluded purely on the basis because of a clerical error on our report here, because we agreed in committee that it was going to be to the 15th of July, that is going to be a huge problem of people being declined and penalized purely on the dates. And on the grant and aid form application, it very clearly states it has to be in by the 15th of July.
Okay, in other words, the first paragraph in the report where it says from the 1st May 2024 and we close on the 1st of July 2024 at 12, that is wrongly captured. Should have said 15 July 2024. That's what we are saying.
That's correct, Speaker.
Okay, that's fine. See now, so that we are guided properly, there's an explanation from the Deputy Chair of the committee on why the matter is here. I think it makes sense what he has explained to Council. But there is a proposal from Councillor Kuala to refer back the item. And there's a proposal to amend the recommendations. And now, Councillor Kuala, do you still insist that after the explanation from the Deputy Chair, you still feel that the item should be referred back to the committee, or you are satisfied with the reasons why the item is here?
Yeah, I have to consult with the caucus.
Okay, right.
Can we have 5 minutes
Thank you,
caucus?
thank you. Now, excuse me, the last speaker talk about the date. I will request that we get that in writing formally,
Speaker.
so that it's being corrected. Let's deal now with the proposal from Councillor Mwango, while Councillor Kuala is consulting. Mwango is saying, let's amend item 2.2 and should be read as follows. It be noted that the application process was open from the 1st May of July, but it does not include the date where the item has to close. But is that what Mngango is proposing? Is the proposal supported, councillors?
Proposal is silence. It's not saying anything.
Chaze nje.
Sihlalo, sicela usinike nje u5 minute caucus. As
Right,
I-
let me invite Mr. Mhlongo to speak on the item. I know, Councillor, that because for the past few months, we had no council meeting. It is possible for us to be confused.
Speaker,
John,
Speaker, before legal, can I?
let me.
report?
I want him to clarify something that maybe will assist
Yeah, but-
all of you.
Speaker, can I say
Speaker.
something before legal?
Yeah, let me do this.
I had my hands up long ago.
Let me do this. Let me start with that hand at my far right, then Mngwango, then Madlala. Okay, Councillor Mngwango?
Honourable Speaker, first of all, this item was on the agenda of the 25th of June.
Right.
If you read the minutes, this item, last on the minutes, it says subsequently the report was withdrawn for the management report to report differently since the event in question has already happened prior to council giving approval. That was this item then. Now, what one is proposing here is not change my date. I'm saying this clause here says, noted that the application will be opened. This already happened, hence I'm amending and say was. So it covers everything. It was opened on the 1st of May 24 and closed 1st of July. Just put was instead of said will be, because it's already taken place. That's why I'm recommending that amendment to say it was happened, then we can move on.
Okay. Thank you, Mngwango, for the clarification. Councillor Madlala?
Yeah, no, thank you very much. We want to apologize to council for the confusion, but I did think in our last meeting made council aware that we are going to have a lot of these issues since we had an extended recess where I even went as far as saying government does not close because politicians are busy campaigning. And I think it's in that spirit that we are going to welcome the inputs that were made, one by Councillor Black as a member of the committee, and I agree with her that the advert was saying the 15th of July, and it should then reflect as such in our report. I also want to agree with Councillor Mngwango in saying that it's the capturing that needs to change. It must say that the advert was, because we are dealing with a matter post effect, and therefore it should reflect that. And once you've dealt with those two, you are then covered because we are dealing with a matter that has already taken place, and it's just to kick the process forward. Because if you don't, you are then going to have a problem with the AG, where you run forward with your processes without the council noting, which constitutes an approval in itself. So I appeal
Speaker,
Speaker,
Speaker, I just want to check if there is a rule that you can implement or apply when someone is just doing a representation, because what Councillor Madlala is doing has been canvassed by both speakers. So I think he should have just said we're covered, Speaker, and then we move on. Thank you.
You see, Councillor Mvubu, I should have not allowed you to speak, because if you want to speak where there's someone on the floor, is either you raise a point of order. Now you just spoke without any point of order.
Yeah, no,
Madlala is a chair of this cluster. He has a responsibility to explain to council, so that when council take decision, it's take a decision from the informed point of view. Councillor Madlala?
yeah, in concluding, Speaker, ngaze ngixabane nabangani bethu. I had to clarify that Councillor Black is correct. She's from the committee. Also, because Councillor Mngwango uhlezi ekhuluma into ephuma eceleni, I had to clarify ukuthi this time around is correct. Thank you.
Speaker, point of
Order,
Point of order, Speaker.
order, Madlala, can you withdraw that?
Yeah,
Withdrawn.
yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
So-
Councillors, there are two amendments from Councillor Black, Councillor Mngwango, that both supported. Thank you, I'm happy with that. Let's move on. Now, on the item, page 18, 2.2, I've got speakers. The first speaker is Councillor Kwala. Second speaker is Councillor Mngwango. Second speaker is Councillor Mhlaba and Councillor Kuzwayo. Councillor Kwala?
Asibonge Sihlalo. Mhlambe mawukuthi kuyabonakala ukuthi la kunephutha siyalungisa. I-item is go for e-noting ngoba sikhuluma ngento esedlule. Sicabanga ukuthi ke shuthi GNU iyosebenza siyabonga.
Councillor Gwala, okay. U2.2.1, initially the report was requesting for approval. U2.2.2 is for noting. I think council have to approve U2.2.1 and note the next item. Next item is U2.2.2. Councillor Mngwango?
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. Action SA do support the item. My name was submitted just to do an amendment, that's all. Thank you.
Thank you for that, Councillor Mngwango. Councillor Mhlaba?
Siyabonga Somlomo, CAIC say note item. Inkosi.
Councillor Kuzwayo, sekunika isikhathi sokukhuluma early, but it was for a specific matter. Kuzwayo?
No, thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Just to quote what Councillor Mngwango said earlier, the item was brought before Council for approval in June, but unfortunately was withdrawn. And we had to approve the publication of the advert. So I implore council members to then approve the process, although it is post facto. As the ANC, we support the advertising of this granting aid for 2024-2025 financial year. I thank you, Speaker.
Yeah, thank you, councillors. For us to be orderly and to be procedural, we have to approve 2.2.1. Councillors, is the recommendation 2.2.1 agreed? 2.2 noted? Thank you very much. City Manager, next item. Right, we are now on page 19. I will then again invite His Worship, the Mayor, Councillor Cyril Kaba, to table the Executive Committee report.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, colleagues, ladies and gentlemen. I feel honored once again to table the second report of the Executive Committee. I so table. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Your Worship. City Manager.
Honorable Speaker, thank you very much. The first report on the second EXCO report is the report of the Economic Development and Planning Committee from their meeting, which was held on the 11th of the 7th, 2024. Item 1.1, Furniture Industry Development Program. Committee recommends.
Thank you very much, City Manager. Councillor Penn, you are number 1. Councillor F. Mdleche, ANC, you are number 2.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise in a pseudo Rule 20D issue, in that it's the wording of the motion which I have some concern with, the very first line, and I'm trying to avoid dealing with it as a formal amendment, because I think it's so obvious that either the city manager on your right or legal on your left will agree. The issue is this: we obviously support the proposal, but the issue is who the contracting party is. Because if you look at recommendation 1.1.1, it says that the head economic development be authorized to continue participating in the furniture industry, etc., etc. Now, surely it's the municipality as an entity which is taking part in the program. It's not just the head of that department. So my request to the city manager, and maybe we need legal's input on it, is that that first line should just be amended to read that the eThekwini municipality, comma, represented by the head economic development, etc., and then continue. Because the contracting party is not the head of the department. The motion goes on to say the city manager can sign the MOU, and that MOU will say that the eThekwini municipality enters into agreement with somebody, not that the head of the department enters the agreement. I'm just trying to tidy it up, and I've been given a amendment form, but I would imagine that this change, and it applies to the next 3 or 4 items, could be done by the admin off their own bat without having to have a formal amendment and vote on it. I just really think we need to get our administration correct. And if the answer is going to be, we've always done it like that, my response would be to say, yes, but we've always had unauthorized, irregular, fruitless and wasteful expenditure, but we shouldn't have it. So let's get it right, and can I suggest we change the contracting party? If you want it as a formal amendment, I'll do it, but I would have thought that the amendment could be accepted and proposed by the city manager himself.
Yeah, thank you very much, Councillor Ben. In terms of our procedures and our rules, if any councillor have a view that an amendment have to be inserted in any report, we have to do that. I suggest you fill up the form. I think council have understood your reason for the proposed amendment. I don't think there's a need for me to invite legal to clarify that. It's just to ask councillor whether councillors are you in support with the proposed amendment. The amendment is supported.
Chair, do you require me to do one amendment for every one of the items, or can I do one? Can I deal with all items in one amendment?
When we are on that item, you will be allowed to make those amendments.
Okay.
Yeah. You can write all of them and then keep them here waiting for that. Thank you very much, Councillor Penn. With that amendment approved by Council, Councillor Mdletshe.
Thank you, Speaker. Le item is our initiative as uMasipala weTheku.
Please try to speak closer to your microphone.
Lana nje into ongoing is just that ukuthi kuphele iMOU ebesinayo esinokuba nayo every 3 years. So here we are seeking for ukuthi sivuselele MOU esinayo. It's a good initiative ukulesa iqala. Iyasilekelela kakhulu ukuthuthukisa nosomabhizinisi abancane. Iyasilekelela kakhulu futhi ukuvula namathuba emisebenzi. What we are here for today is to seek i-council ukuthi isinike i-approval for ukuthi singene kule MOU sivuselele. As the ANC ke thina siyayisupporta kakhulu le item. Ngiyabonga Speaker.
Thank you, Councillor Mdletshe. Councillors, page 20, item 1.1.1. Are the recommendation agreed? City Manager, next item.
Thank you very much.
Yes, Councillor.
Sorry, Speaker, it's just a repeat of what Councillor Bernard said for the previous item. It's exactly the same.
On
This
item
as well.
1.2.
Yes.
Okay, you can speak.
No, it's just the same amendment.
Let's allow the city manager to read the item first, then you will come with the proposed amendment. City Manager.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. On page 20, item 1.2, Clothing and Textile Development Program Committee recommends.
Yes, Councillor, you can come up with your proposal.
Sorry, Speaker, you just said it had to be repeated. It's the exact same wording, the amendment. Councillor Byrne.
Refer us to a paragraph.
Okay, it'll be on page 21. It's 121. And it's again repeating, instead of that, the head, economic development, it's saying eThekwini municipality represented by head,
Okay.
economic development. Thanks.
Okay, thank you. Already the proposal has been supported earlier. It's one and the same thing. Is the amendment supported? Thank you. Right, I've got speakers on this item, page 20, item 1.2, Councillor Paruk and Councillor Pindlovu.
Good day, Speaker. Although this program has been running from the 1st of January 2023, we need proper accountability who has been assisted and what criteria was used. Action SA supports this program but needs for the current year from the 1st of July 2024 to the 30th of June 2027, which SMEs will be benefited from this current program. If possible, we may need a list of all the candidates which will be supported in this program. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Councillor Ndlovu.
Thank you, Somlomo, Bingelele, Gowe, honorable member and councillors. As we are well aware, the South African clothing textile is highly diverse and mature industry with an important role to play in the country. And on the global level, South African industry finds itself vulnerable to cheap imports from China and Asia. Key factors contributing to this are the cost of labor and the economic impact of strikes on the labor market. So for these reasons, as the ANC would like to support this program, I thank you, Speaker.
Thank you very much, councillors. Are the recognition agreed? City Manager.
Thank you very much. Sorry. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. We now move to page 22, item number 1.3, Footwear and Leather Sector Development Committee recommends.
Thank you, City Manager. Are the recommendation agreed? Amendment, where?
Chair,
1.3 is the amendment, eh?
Speaker, same again.
Same thing.
Same again.
Okay. Is the amendment agreed? Thank you very much.
Page 23, Honorable Speaker.
Yes, proceed.
Item 1.4, request for authority to enter into strategic partnership with the South African Mini Industry Development, commonly called as Summit NPC, for implementation of Farmer Skills and Enterprise Development Program via Section 67 of the Local Government Municipal Finance Management Act of 2003. Committee recommends.
Thank you. Page 23, 1.4. Councillor Kupega, you're number 1. With the 2 minutes from Freedom Front Plus and JEP. Councillor Shlomuga, ANC, you're number 2. No, I made a mistake here. Pega is number 1. Mhlaba, K is number 2. Shlomuga, ANC is number 3, and the last speaker. There are 3 speakers on the item. Councillor Pega.
Sorry, Chair, can I just clarify the proposed amendment applies to this one as well? To
Okay.
insert towards the.
Okay.
Thank you.
Councillor Pen, the amendment is similar to what you have proposed earlier. Thank you very much. You approve all the amendments. Okay?
Will you approve my other amendments later?
It's like baking a cake.
It's part of GNU.
Hey, the Councillor done electoral approval, I don't hire.
Kunjalo
Right, Pega?
Thank you, Speaker. As Action SA, we improve anything as Osiza, Speaker, Amalo, Ama SMMEs. Kanjalo, even Nomusubuga Giona, le partnership, which involves the Farm Skills and Enterprise Development Program. Ibalulekile ukuthi abantu bakithi bazinvolve kuma programs aphathelene nokutshala nokufuya. So njengo Action SA sibhekisisile ke speak ukuthi is it in line with the agribusiness master plan? Yes, our objectives are corner. They are in line with the agribusiness master plan. So therefore, as the party, it shows that we don't just agree in any other items, but if there is accountability and you can see the result, that's what we are here for. As we all know that at the moment, we are the only opposition party. Yebo kunjalo. So
Esihlalo
Because of
eziwu-4.
that, Speaker, we support the partnership. Thank you.
Kuvaleke microphone. Councillor Pela Utan.
Yes, Speaker. Thank
Okay.
you.
Okay, thank you. Councillor Mhlaba.
Enkosi Somlomo. Njenge AIC siyacinga ukuthi ulimo lubaluleke kakhulu. Abantu bakuthi bazothola amathuba ebebengakhange bawathole kwisikhathi esiningi. Singajabula ke kakhulu njenge AIC lokusebenziswana kuphumelele kuzoba nenkqubela because without agriculture akukho umnotho wethu angeke uye phambili ngoba funeka siqinisekise ukuthi siya compete nabantu bangaphandle. Sizokwazi ukuthi uma sidemanda umhlaba siyazi ukuthi umhlaba siyakwazi ukuzenzela. Singathi nje land but you don't know the land. Siyabonga.
Okay.
Thank you, Councillor Mhlaba. Councillor Hlomuga.
Ngiyabonga Speaker. Ngiyabingelela emakhosini asendlukulu. Agro-industrial is one of the essentials in the life of the people as an aspect of every individual. In the illustration by Maslow's hierarchy of the needs, food is identified as the essential need under the psychological need. Mr. Speaker, it is one of paramount importance to empower our people. There is an idiom of expression by one of the Chinese philosophy, which says, I open quote, if you give a man a fish to feed, to feed.
Order.
In the beginning,
Okay.
in the beginning.
Order, councillors. Order.
Give a man a fish. Give a man a fish.
Give a man.
And you feed and you feed him for a day. Teach a man how to fish, and you feed him for a life. I close quotes. Mr. Speaker, as the ANC caucus, we support to empower our black people. I thank you.
Thank you. Order. Order, councillors. Order. We are on page 23, item 1.4. Are the recommendation agreed? Thank you, City Manager.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. We now move to item number 1.5 on page 25. It is the request for authority to acquire land for environmental management purposes. Committee recommends.
Thank you. I have got speakers on this item. The first speaker is Councillor W. Sbia from DA and Councillor Z. Solomon from DA, Councillor Kuala from the IFP, Councillor Pindlovu from the ANC. In that order, Councillor Sbia.
Siyabonga Speaker, sibingelele indlu nazo protocols of ZEBT. Uma kuukuthi khona bangibuza ikhekhe namhlanje ngilibekile la ukwenzela ukuthi ningalokhu nibuza.
Siyabonga. Bekumele ungalifihli libeke la ku-speaker.
Nali la ngenzela ukuthi
Funa libe la ku-speaker.
kuyadliwa ka ikhodo fish ngala amakhekhe ngala. Let me put it on record ukuthi uba Xaba ihlobo sami Ameni
Sibeya sohlupha Sibeya.
Shwabat. Ahamba Mathe. We as the Democratic Alliance support this item. Speaker, as far back as the early 2000s, the Democratic Alliance has been calling for measures to mitigate climate change and global warming. Isolating parcels of land for environmental conservation is one way of going about it in order to maintain biodiversity. We've seen what failure to do this can do to the lives and livelihoods of residents during natural disasters such as floods. We call on the city to make sure that the land parcels are truly protected, as it doesn't help to acquire land only for it to be invaded by illegal occupants. Siyabonga.
Thank you very much, Councillor Sibeya. Councillor Solomon.
Thank you, Somlomo. You don't have to be a vegan to care about plants and animals. Biodiversity is very important to the environment. And even if somebody doesn't have knowledge of it, supporting this is politically correct. We need our spaces to be protected. There is a ward that I represent that has very, very successfully had excellent service from this department. We have had species of birds, up to 136 types of birds, that have come back to our area purely because this department came, eradicated the alien invasive trees, planted some trees that were indigenous, created a lovely wetland, and we now have this amazing space in Ward 66, The Bluff. Biodiversity is essential to our survival as a species, and we must live in harmony with everything on earth. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Councillor Gwala.
Thank you, Sihlalo. As IFP, we believe that climate change is based on putting a blind eye on an environment issues or management. Credit must go to the committee concerned to come up with such initiative. We fully support the item. Without ukunakekela imvelo, ngicabanga ukuthi ila esikhona ngalesi sikhathi. Zonke izinto ezenzakalayo uma uxhumene nemvelo usuke uhamba ngohlelo olukahle uma umuntu. Mhlawumbe abanye abakwazi ukuthi umuntu uyiscience. Sibonge kakhulu lapho Sompisi uyibambe zaqina lapho sokulekelela nathi as-GNU ezintweni ezifana nalezi siyabonga.
Thank you, Councillor Gwala. Councillor Ndlovu.
Sibonge Speaker. Ngibingelele ngithobeke kuba khosi endabuko ngibingelele umeya kanye namakhansela onke. Mr. Speaker, as the ANC caucus, we understand the importance of diversity and we value the wealth and the nature. In actual fact, we value the wealth and the health of the nature. The climate change has become a cause of concern globally. And most importantly to us as a coastal city, it's a cause of concern. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, we have a responsibility as a city that we balance our ecosystem. Mr. Speaker, into ejabulisa kakhulu ke kulolu hlelo njengalolu ukuthi once we've acquired land in question, sesondele emphakathini, sisebenzisane nemphakathi, sithi sonke imvelo siyinakekela sibe sifundisa abantu bakithi ngokongiwa kwemvelo, sikube futhi kutholakala namatoho khona lapho sibe sinakekela imvelo, sivikela imvelo yethu. Ngalezo izathu ke ebengiyibekile Mr. Speaker njenge caucus ka ANC sayisupporta kakhulu I recommendation. Ngiyabonga Speaker.
Thank you, councillors. Are the recommendation agreed? Thank you. It's now 1 o'clock, 2 minutes past 1. We're going to break for lunch, right? But listen, Listen, we are breaking for lunch. Executive committee members will convene urgently for their meeting requested by the mayor to process some urgent matters. Then there is a supplementary agenda for the executive committee that was on Tuesday. Now, I will give you an hour. You are expected to be back at 1 o'clock, at 2 o'clock, I'm sorry, hoping that by that time we would have finished the executive meeting and all other. Okay. All right, as we move for lunch, I request all whips of parties to come to the front for an urgent matter that we have to process as a committee of the whips of parties. Thank you. Let's break for lunch. We are all back at 2 o'clock. Thank you.